Ladies and gentlemen, motorsport enthusiasts, welcome back to Formula Racing League TV. Welcome back to Assetto Corsa Competizione. We are here once again for season 23 of our championship. This time it's multi-class Thursday, up for round number 6 at the Hungaroring near Budapest. It looks race day or night day, night race or whatever you want to call it, who promises to be packed with action, especially because we will race under the night. So it will be all twisty and emotions in the corners of the Hungarian circuit near Budapest. I'm Andrea Mattavelli and I welcome you back to another director here in the Formula Racing League TV, and I hope you all strap in because we're about to race hard here in Budapest. So we're already practicing final moments before the race will be held in night. Of course, before that will be the qualifying, will take place during daytime. But let's head back to our drivers who are ready to race hard for the podium places. Of course, in GT3 and GT4, there is the following ranking. GT3, there was Andrea Marcella, who won all but 5 races held so far. A dominant driver for the Italian driver on the Porsche. But so far, as you can see, Marcella is not present to race tonight. Don't know if he will be able to get into the server right in the middle of qualifying, but so far it leaves with a open wide battle for the first position. For now it's a British man, Brandon Glover, in the Ford Mustang, who just tapped into the Mercedes GT4 ahead of him, which was of Lamming. But for now Glover is leading the pack with a 1 minute 43.7 stamped on the Ford Mustang. Over half a second we found Stefano Giannelli in second place in a Mercedes, then Jack Prentice, Mirko Tirena and Federico Silvestri in top 5 position. I hope there will be Domenico Russo in the BMW. And Caldani, then De Rosa, Riccardo De Rosa, of course, and then Lachaud, Tucker, Molindri, Overland, and Petra Postel. But in GT4, welcome back to Luca Mantego, who was the absolute dominant force in GT4 up until a certain point. Then a couple of absences and you know what happened in the last 2 races, because he did not show up his face, but he's back, and for now he's leading with a heavy advantage over Marco Poletti. Then in Valza Pops, Adam Schape, the winner of the last race and now leader of the GT4 championship, Kenzo Codoneso from Belgium, is in 5th place, ending his final lap of the free practice. There's a checker flag. Codoneso does not want to, and it stops right. Right as he presumably wanted to try another start procedure. Meanwhile, Domenico Russo moves up into second place in the BMW, is now behind the Ferrari of Pat Postel. Do not think that these rankings, these tables will be held on, will see any major changes. Giannelli isn't at the pits, Russo has stopped. Only Lachaud now, because that's the Ferrari Lachaud. It wasn't Postel. Postel is just behind him, so I just made those 2 Ferraris are very similar by the way, by the delivery. Meanwhile, the GT4, Luca Mantero ahead of Marco Poletti, Valza, Pops, Sharpe, Conveso, Beltram leading with Greaves. The shot it's back into the pits. And so it's time to go for qualifying action here at the Hungaroring. It's 3 p.m. in the server, and we are live for the first 10 minutes reserved for the GT4 drivers. Luca Montero is the first out on track. Of course, the rules are simple. Each class at 10 minutes, the GT4 the first 10, and the GT3 the last 10. Each class has the permission to do how many laps they can do, but after the time is up, they can only be allowed to finish that lap and then head back to the pits, leaving the track for the GT3 monsters. Of course, qualifying will be huge for tonight's race because it is a track that it holds a fame for the Monaco on the East, the Monaco of the East, or the Monaco on the circuit, and it's you can see why, because this track opened on the 24th March 1986, the first Formula 1 race beyond the Iron Curtain. It's a tricky one, 4.3 kilometers or 2.7 miles and 40 corners around the track, located Mogorod, which is a couple of kilometers north, I believe, or it was west of Budapest, and I think it's north, however. And you can see by how these drivers are approaching that it does not hold many overtaking opportunities. The major ones reside in turn 1, which is named after Piquet, and turn 2, named after Hamilton. This is the names are an idea held from this year onwards. A little Formula 1, but this corners, you really need to be careful, especially try to cut it, because some curbs can really launch your car up the sky and lose a valuable time that will be crucial, especially in qualifying like this. You can see that they have also to set up the tire pressures. It is quite hot now, 31 degrees in the air, 39 on the asphalt. No wind so far, so the drivers they will only be held account of their lap, of the behavior of the car, only for their driving style. And you can see the GT4, these GT4s really handling well. The McLaren is one of the top chosen cars by the top drivers in the GT4, and on the twisty corners of the Hungarian track, it holds really well. It is not easy always to really have a good feeling on the McLaren, but when you find the key to unlock the potential, you can start flying, and we can see how the results will arrive by Luca Montero and the other Italians driving it, the 720S GT4. Luca Montero on the line, 153.2. That's the first time on the spreadsheet so far. Now, other GT4 cars will arrive, including the Mercedes AMG of Kenzo Condoneso from Belgium. Switzer is 1.9 seconds behind Montero. Let's see Condoneso. And it's second, only 33,000 of a second. So it really promises to be a great battle for pole position between Montero and Condoneso. Lawson in the Ginetta is over 4 seconds behind. He's even behind compared to just 4 seconds. So, I believe, to all the faces returning on the grid. And also for now is dead last in the Ginetta. Let's see now. We are now on Adam Sharpie, as Hunter is placed 5th 2.7 now. Greaves, the first Liti, then Greaves, and now Beltrame. And all the time, Beltrame is further ahead of Liti and Greaves, all in the space of some tenths of a second. And you can see Nicky Witt, Go GT4 drivers, he said, while he's driving in the Audi R8, you can see is the track. I don't know. Does he have like vocal features or something to chat with us while driving those cars, or it is something that he said us before and he arrived to me just now? Other shopping onto the line, and let's see where he ends up. It's fourth, ahead of Alessandro Liti, just 32 times behind Beltrame for third place. Now Nicky Witt on the one, the Audi R8 GT4 present on the grid alongside Smith and Pospisil. Smith has put himself in 8th place, 2.4 behind Montero. Let's see, we see now both Pospisil and Witt. He puts himself up into third place. Great job by Nicky Witt, while Luca Montero really giving a strong signal there. We're 152.750, over 5 tenths, half a second on Codoneso. Laming is now fourth. The track is really evolving at the incredible ludicrous speed. And now you see Marco Poletti slotting himself into the front row. One will be all Italian and all McLaren front row. That's great to hear. Greaves in the Aston Martin, one of the Aston Martin, does improve, yes, he moves up into P6. And so does Beltrame, up to P4 now, as we have only 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in this qualifying session. While for now, I'll head it back to the two Ginettas with one of which it's Edwin Els from South Africa, and really poor performance so far, while Serafino Gerbino moves up into 5th place. Good job also by our fellow FRL admin, who will hope for a strong result in the GT4 class, while Edwin Els now in the multicolor Ginetta really trying to push to move up some places. It's only 2 tenths away from Matthew Hunt in the Vantage, the old spec Vantage GT4. Can he manage to improve, even though it looks like he's driving with the driving aids on? No offense to anyone else, but that's really what you see when you have drivers like Montero, Poletti competing up front and giving really big distances to the drivers on the back markers. Everyone else does not improve. He restarts another lap. I think we have this will be maybe the last one for the South African. I hope not. Alessandro Liti now on the line. Does improve? Yes, he overtakes Serafino Gerbino, who now moves down to 6th place. Meanwhile, Luca Montero has improved once again, 1 minute 52.6, another 10th move down by the Italian in the McLaren, who now almost certainly has taken pole position. No one is able for now to get even closer to those lap times. Serafino Gerbino now turn 13 and now turn 14 for Serafino, who is at all the curbs in the exit of the corner. Let's see if he improves. Not quite, stays in 7th place. Other champion of the line, he starts now what will be his final lap, because we have only 30 seconds left in the qualifying. And as you can see, the pit lane is already packed with all the GT3 cars ready to roar outside and into the track. Only a couple of minutes left. Now we have the other Audis, Meets and Witt in the 2 Audis. So let's see If they improve, Smith does not improve, Witz does not improve either. They still have 1 lap to their name. While now 3, 2, 1. GT4 qualifying is over. The GT3 cars are allowed to take the track to start their part of qualifying. You can see the Ford Mustangs and the blue McLaren of Overland are the first to exit the pit lane. And so in a few moments we will see also the GT3 cars starting their first flying laps. Luca Mantero is in the pit lane. Poletti and Condoleezzo as well, so it will be almost certainly a 1-2 for Italy and for McLaren in the front row. Betrame is into the pits as well. Valda Pospisil is still trying to finish his lap time, but he does not improve, so he decided it's not worth it. Serafino Gerbino also decided to move into the pit lane. Greaves is stopped, Whitson stops as well, Sharpie stops as well. Hunt and Coppens are on the pit lane as well, so now it's only Smith, the Jerry Smith from Belgium, who's pushing for his final flying lap. Can the driver on the R8 number 2 do something to improve his currently P14, or will the qualified table hold still for the GT4 class? Smith will finish his final lap, and then I think he will head down immediately to the pit lane to leave the field only for those GT3 cars. Smith onto the line. Let's see if he improves. He improves this time, but unfortunately he stays P14. So it would mean a start from row 7 of the GT4 class for him. And so Luca Mantero is on pole position for the GT4 class ahead of Marco Poletti and Kenzo Codonezzo. And now it's time to let the fun for the GT3 boys. Jack Prentice in the pink and green Ford Mustang, the first to start a flying lap around this historic track, who was theater to many historic moments, especially Formula 1. In the first edition of the Hungarian Grand Prix, with the impossible overtake on the outside run from Nelson Piquet on Ayrton Senna, or the almost victory of Devon Hill with the Arrows in 1997, the victory of Nigel Mansell in 1990, I think it was 1989, 1990, with a Ferrari overtaking Ayrton Senna after taking advantage of the lapped car, or the first victories of many drivers like Fernando Alonso 2003, Jenson Button in 2006, Heikki Kovalainen in 2008, Esteban Ocon in that crazy weather influenced 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix. The first and only victory so far for both Ocon and Alpine in Formula 1. Speaking of Alpine, it's a shame that we do not see the beautiful A110 GT4 on the GT4 grid. Hopefully someone will pick it up in the foreseeable future. But now let's head back to the GT3 qualifying. Jack Prentice with the first time 1:45.505. Overland behind the 4 tenths. Glover now sets the reference 1:44.8. Jack Tucker is behind 1 second.3. Now let's see the others. Silvestri is 5th ahead of Riccardo De Rosa. So the times are coming. Let's see also Mico Tirena on the white and orange Ferrari 296. Dezer in the 296 has put himself in second place. Now Tirena takes the front row for him. Less than 2 tenths away from Glover. So it will be tight for pole position and almost certainly for the front row. So for now the order is Glover, Tirena, Dezer, Prentice, Overland, Tucker, Silvestri and Goldo Brown, who are welcome back on the Lamborghini with a new, really creative from him. And Brown is for now P8 ahead of De Rosa and Postel, but we have still a few cars left to set the lap time. and one of which is Stefano Giannelli, who he was a slide, but I believe it because of his connection. As you can see, it looks like it's on the initial day, but it's Pink who went up in the stars. This could be a meme moment to share on the social accounts with some of this drift, but I will head back to one of the cars who is currently set to finish his first flying lap, and of course, which is the Frenchman Lachaud. Now in turn 14, he, Dino, Giannelli, Monetti, Caruso still have to set the lap time. And Lachaud set the 6th lap time, while Andrea Caldani moved this up at the front of the pack, 144.0, over 7 tenths ahead of Glover and Practice. Mirko Tirena moves into 2nd place ahead of the pair of Mustangs. Giannelli is 3rd despite being counting 4th. Domenico Russo is 2nd with only 98 thousandths of a second behind Caldani. There was a really great lap by the Ferrari driver. Really great lap by him. As you see behind him, we see Brandon Glover on the 69 Mustang, trying to push to take back at least the 2nd row of the grid. While we're closer to the last 3 minutes of this qualifying session. And any tenth, any thousandth of a second counts for the result of qualifying, considering how hard it is to pass the Hungaroring. There's only 2 main overtaking spots, turn 1 and turn 2. The others it will really get hard and harder to even get alongside another car, despite maybe some errors. Glover now into the line and moves up to 2nd place, 68,000 behind Caldani, who holds on for now for what would be a sensational pole position for the Italian. Stefano Giannelli now in the Mercedes, final corner for him. Let's see now, Stefano Giannelli then has responded to everyone else. It's a first, it's provisional pole for Stefano Giannelli. The first to destroy the 144 wall with a 43.9. Everyone else also, how could I forget, 1998 edition of Hungarian Grand Prix with Michael Schumacher winning with 1 pit stop more than Mika Häkkinen, and also qualifying laps in the race. Really astonishing from Michael. And what end of the racing season was 1998 with a fight between Häkkinen and Schumacher in Vine, and then Damon Hill in the Jordan, the crazy Belgian Grand Prix. And it was really for me an underrated season, at least from my opinion. What is your underrated season, underrated competition that nobody talks about? Just to have some interaction in the chat. And I saw now in the notes that Gordon Brown said that Andrea Marcella will not be present because he moved to PC now. So another one has moved into the, we will call the Premier League of Sim Racing. I will call it the Serie A. Both leagues started last weekend, but well, good luck for Andrea Marcella, and like I say, it was nice for us to see him dominate the multi-class field in really showcase all of his talent in FRL. I believe these drivers won't be with this manner said, they were delighted for the chance to fight again for victories and podiums. You can see, as we have now, the top 4 drivers in the closed in 2 tenths of a second, while Gordon Brown has been his final flying lap and will start P12 at best. Now it's a final lap because it's a checker flag falling out. Andrea Caldani will be the first one to cross the line and set his final lap time. The reference is 1:43.9700 for Andrea Caldani to try to snap pole position away from the Mercedes driver. He really exited fast. Andrea Caldani can improve, can he maybe try improves, but stays second by just 9 tenths, 90,000 of a second. That's really too bad for Caldani. Let's see if Brandon Glover can do something. He can! 1:43.947. And Britman takes the provisional pole. Can anybody do something for Glover? Or did the Ford Mustang really snatch the pole away from the Italian job? Mirko Tirrena now. That will be Stefano Giannelli. Tirrena does not improve, stays P6. Let's see now, Stefano Giannelli, can he take back pole position? No, he can't. Only 23,000 a second separating when Domenico Russo gets off, and that lap won't count. Riccardo De Rosa is into the pit, and Zero has already managed to cross the line. Petro Postel, the only one, he was 14th. He stays 14th, but that's a change of a pace because we were so settled for the Italian job, for the Italian affair of pole position. But now, without Andrea Marcella, everything has changed. Brandon Glover in the Ford Mustang takes pole position despite not setting the fastest sector in any of the 3 sectors of the racetrack, and that's what you call consistency, and that's really great to see from Brandon Glover. Then we'll see behind 5 Italians all crammed into each other, with Stefano Giannelli starting on front row, then second row Andrea Caldani and Domenico Russo. Then in row 3 we get Riccardo De Rosa and Mirko Tirrena. Then after those Italians we see Jack Prentice in 7 with the Ford, then Alfa Ferrari with the Zer, Silvestri and Lasciode, then Tucker, Gordon Brown P12 in the Lamborghini Huracan, the Overland Poston, Moledig, Elino. Again, GT4 car class, Luca Mantero on pole position ahead of Marco Podetti, and GT4 leader Kenzo Cordonesu. We see everyone else say it's 1998 and 2006 was some of the best drivers for Schumacher. Yes, he lost both those years, but he put some of his best drivers. Monza 1998, China 2006, Argentina 1998, Imola 2006. I agree with you, Edwin. These are also the years of the games that are really, Formula 1 games that are really hold a special memory, because Formula 1 1998, despite being inferior to 97 or even 99 or 2000, really hold a place in my heart, especially maybe for the music, for the sounds of the engines, and for the way he tried to present Formula 1. In 2006, because I played 2 times F1, maybe 3 times. First by rental, F1 06 on the PlayStation 2 by rental. Then for PlayStation Portable, PSP F1 06, I still have it. And then F1 Championship Edition on PlayStation 3. I have the Spanish physical edition with the Fernando Alonso signature. At the time, he was a world champion. That season, he will come to claim the second world title after Michael Schumacher puncture in Brazil, and unfortunate engine blow at Suzuka. But now we're in the grid. We're minutes away for the start of a race, a night race, which will be awaiting us at Hungaroring. A quick break, and we'll be back for the start of round number 6 on Multiclass Thursday here at Hungaroring. And we're back after the quick break. 30 seconds left to the beginning of the starting procedure. A short formation lap for this night race. Reminder that if you're liking this direct, you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving a like, and supporting us on our Patreon channel, where you can support us giving money to, which will end up, of course, on our gaming community for those leagues. A reminder that you can subscribe to our Discord channel in the description below if you want to try to have some races with these incredible drivers. As well as F198, my first game PS1, Becky outside, Richard Gilbert. Come on, guys, and those high spirit, let's head to the track, because now it is time to get serious. It is round 6 of the MULTICLASS first day. It is our ninth race here at Hungaroring, and we're going now with Brandon Glover having a good start. Stefano Giardelli, he started really well, even better than Brandon Glover. We're trying to hold on, trying with a move on the outside, but Glover holds the line. And watch out also for Cardani on Russo, the two handing each other, not any incident so far, all heading clearly. Maybe Gianelli will try again on Glover. Then we see the Rosa, Prentice maybe. Some drivers are really going wide. Some, we see a McLaren. Oh, and there's a McLaren Lamborghini, and there's Gordon Brown, who went out and went into spinning in the middle of turn number 3. He managed to restart, but he lost a lot of time, a lot of position, and will certainly meet a lot of damages on the bodywork of his Lamborghini. And you can see how really tight it is already from Hungaroring. Oh, and we see the Zer really overshooting at the chicane of turn 6 and 7. He lost maybe 2 places. Well ahead, Glover is still leading from Stefano Gianelli, Andrea Cardani, then Domenico Russo, and Riccardo De Rosa. The Jack Prentice, Tirreno Silvestri, Lascione Desert to round up the top 10. Meanwhile, the GT4 category, Luca Montero is still leading for now, but he has to watch out from the mirrors, because Kenzo Codonesu has had a rocket start, and he moved up into second place already, overtaking Marco Ponetti from the start. Then it is Vaza Poffizel, Beltrame, Liti, Gerbino, Reeves, Keller, and Sharp. I believe it is the last one of the top 10 of the class. Let's to Kenzo Codonesu, because he's the one of really trying to put pressure on Luca Montero. He's the fight between those two heavyweight profiles in the GT4 class. Montero was the dominant force in the first part of the championship. And now it's Kenzo Codonesu who's leading the standings. Meanwhile, there's a drive-through for car number 6. And Liv Lawson in the Ginetta will have to come through the pits in a moment. Gordon Brown, meanwhile, is forced to take an early pit stop. And this race is ruined by now. No chances of him trying to get up. Meanwhile, Gianelli have moved past Cardani, but I believe there's Cardani flashes him. I believe he has maybe there was some contact having to do with Gianelli's connection, with Gianelli's lag. So Gianelli for now is the third place, and that leaves, I believe, no, it was a contact with Domenico Russo, who lost a lot of time. Don't know what happened there. So Gianelli is second, even though his rear headlights are not working. Or did he just decide to not light them up? Just have those position headlights? That's really odd by him. Anyway, Brandon Glover takes all this advantage and set the fastest lap time of the race, over 3.5 seconds already ahead of the Italians. We're really scrapping it out for the podium places. Gianelli second, Cardani third, De Rosa fourth, Then Prentice ahead of Tirrena. Silvestri with a dive bomb out of nowhere on the Tirrena. Tirrena tries for the switcheroo, and he manages to take back 6th place. But what a move that was from Silvestri, who went from far beyond and manages to almost to take Tirrena's place. That is really incredible. That is really incredible. Already, while Domenico Russo is the first in the pit window to take a pit stop alongside Overland, but Overland was one of the drivers involved in the first of crashes of the first lap. And Domenico Russo is saying from the Discord chat that Gianelli is lagging too much. He can't race like this. Maybe our FRL admins have to watch out on Gianelli. For now, it's being seemed to return to normal values, but there's still the issue of maybe a contact with both Russo and Caldani. And you can see now the McLaren Overland returning on the track. And he holds back Caldani, who lost a little bit of time from Gianelli. Not the ideal outcome for him. You can see all these Pilot GT3 cars all running like in a straight line almost. Meanwhile, Overland is making things difficult for those in the leading pack, because Prentice now is having some trouble lapping Overland. He has to bail off. What is Overland doing? I know he wants to race, but there is blue flag. It is not fast enough as the top driver, so you just have to let her through. It's also a bit of a really unlucky situation for the Norwegian. Well, let's head back. Let's see now. Some attention from the GT4. Luca Mantego still leading from Condoleezza Polletti, but our attention holding it for now with a positive in the Beltrame. Beltrame has reduced the gap to 3 tenths now. It's moved to 7 tenths. So, but the positive doing a good job so far in holding back the Italian for 4th place in the class. It is a good moment from the Czech Republic driver, considering he went from a 6th place finish on Nürburgring and a 4th place at Zandvoort. So really good performance by the Czech Republic driver, who went closer to a podium finish, but ultimately didn't manage to hold on at least in a place in the top 3, but he's still in a good form. This pace is proving really well. Back in this leading pack, we see Luca Mantero still leading, but Kenzo Condoleezza and also Marco Polletti are really close to each other. You can say that Kenzo is in the Italian sandwich or a McLaren sandwich. So it's not easy for the Belgian driver to really try to get slightly closer to Mantero without having to worry about Puletti's run. Look at Codoleso, really holding very well the pace with Luca Mantero. It looks like in the rapid, more twisty section, it really gains a lot more on Luca Mantero, while in the longer corners, the medium pace, maybe Mantero is something more, and the extended lead on the exit of the corner mainly. You see, in fact, Mantero gained 2/10 over the Belgian driver. It's a game of cat and mouse for now. Let's see where it will end up. While in the GT3 class, Nico Tirrena is 3 tenths behind Jack Prentice, and now he's approaching a section where his Ferrari should be able to gain more and more and more ground on Jack Prentice, and he does indeed, because now Nico Tirrena really trying to take advantage of the Ferrari greater handleability and maneuverability to try to make pressure for Jack Prentice. Prentice is really huge on that Mustang, and now we arrive at the turn 14, which will follow then straight where Prentice will extend his gap back to for the Mustang engine. The Coyote V8 engine, the same, which will be utilized for the hypercar, which will debut in the Fiat WEC from 2027. The first tests were held in this month at Paul Ricard with his factory driver Michael Rockefeller and ex-F1 driver Logan Sargent. Prentice took a curb really too much aggressive and lost a couple of time, so Tirrena can try to gain ground on this sector. Prentice is really good to hold a good clean line and really keep himself to a safe distance from Tirrena and all of the others. It's really tight because no one is coming to do the pits so far. So for these drivers, especially this night condition, it's all about keeping the nerves. Do not do any false moves and try to keep it on the track and keep it clean until the driver ahead of you will make a mistake. So without saying that, let's see now the onboard of Mirko Tirrena. Here I am, Mirko Tirrena on board of this Ferrari as he's trying to catch Jack Prentice for P5. see now Mikko really gaining more on the Jack Prentice. Now he's really taking his slipstream in the main straight. Can he approach a move on turn 1? The PK. Can he tries on the outside of Jack Prentice? Prentice holds the inside. Tirrena trying to hold, but he does not have the grip or the better line. So Jack Prentice for now holds on for 5th place, but you can see Mirko Tirrena well behind him with Silvestri and the Zerg neck to neck fighting for 7th place. And maybe Silvestri has it, and there's a contact between Silvestri and the Zerg. He could have had any disaster. Silvestri manages to hold on the Zerg, but the Frenchman is not happy at all with the Italian about that driving. It looks like we're about to try, and Silvestri let it through. Silvestri let it through, so fair play from the Italian. And the Zerg moves up into 7th place. Meanwhile, Tirrena is still dealing with Jack Prentice. Sorry, Mirko, but I think the equivalent of the Truly train, the Prentice train, when he's ahead of someone, he will not let anyone overtake him. He will block every possibility. Even he will take some damage to his race. Of course, I'm joking about that Prentice. And apparently Prentice took that personally because he decided to enter the pit stop, leaving the track for Tirrena as well. Meanwhile, ahead we see at the shop, we see also Nicky Witz going into the pits. Speaking of GT4 drivers, we are now still Kenzo Condoneso, still trying to fight Luca Mantego. And Luca Mantego really, I believe he did a shortcut on turn number 7, but he still holds Kenzo Condoneso. I hope just he doesn't get any track limits from that. Otherwise the race will be ruined. The second Condoneso really pushing now as he approaches more and more close on Luca Mantego. Luca Mantego flashing up ahead, I believe. Don't know what happened. Maybe for the GT4 driver of Witz, who managed to let Mantego through. Get some difficulties between him and Condoneso. Some misunderstandings. The old walk they favor Luca Mantego will hold the lead for another day, or in this case for another lap. Stefano Giannelli now into the pits. After that damage from the incident, Stefano Giannelli will be held into the pits for a long time, I fear. Meanwhile, still here on the battle between Mantero and Condoneso. Condoneso still trying everything to force Mantero into a mistake, because Luca Mantero is really doing a fantastic job defensively on the Belgian driver. And Condoneso decides to try the undercut. A pit stop for Kenzo Condoneso, who's now into the pit lane. And he managed to activate the pit limiter. No. No penalty in this case. Meanwhile, the shop is really far back in the GT4 classes, so he will try to take the occasion to move in the rankings by doing fast laps alone. Let's see if it will work out. Also, Mikko Tirena is into the pit lane. Pit stop completed for Codoneso, and he enters the track. He re-enters the track well ahead of Adam Schape by at least 10-50 seconds maybe. Let's now see how will Mikko Tirena re-enter the track. Jack Prentice is ahead of him. He moves faster. Tirena restarts. As we're about to approach the midway point of the race. Here in the Hungaroring night. Reminder that it's round 6 of the multi-class first day for season 23 in the Assetto Corsa Competizione console version. 21 minutes done and dusted, 24 to go. And now also Marco Poletti enters the pits in the GT4 drivers. Luca Mantero for now stays. And we'll hope for a good pace on used tires for him in the McLaren 720S. But he also has to look behind because Domenico Russo, I believe that's Domenico Russo. No, that's that's De Rosa, yes, De Rosa. No, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost in all this. That was Brandon Glover. That was Brandon Glover. Yeah, I didn't see that red part in the rear of the Mustang. So Brandon Glover for now leading from Caldani De Rosa, but reminder for the podium places: Prentice, Russo, Tirena, Gianelli, all made their best stop. Now De Rosa also in the pit lane as well as Pospisil and Beltrame. Drive-through for Van der Sloot for track limits. That's not going to do any good to his race. But the pit lane now becomes more and more busy. Also Tucker and Loshod are coming for the mandatory pit stop. Got Daniel Glover continuing for now. Let's see Desire as well. And now we have to see in comparison to Jack Prentice, especially for De Rosa, where they will re-enter. We see now the shot all back. Let's see where the Rosa ended up. He was ahead of Prentice. The Rosa is ahead of Prentice. And now Glover is into the pits. Cardani continues and takes the provisional lead. And now it's a pit stop also for Luca Mantero. Now, watch out for this because it's interesting to see where it will end up in comparison to Kenzo Codoneso, who is right now in the sector number 2, turn 10 and now turn 11 at the ACC corner. Codoneso is pushing to trying to get ahead of Codoneso. It's an important fight. That could mean also the GT4 championship. Glover finishes his mandatory pit stop. He will enter ahead of both the Rosa Prentice and all the others. Then we will have a really good advantage. Meanwhile, Mantero exiting the pit lane. Let's see where it is. Codoneso is coming, but Mantero is ahead of Kenzo Codoneso. So Luca Mantero maintains the net lead of the race over the Belgian driver in the Mercedes. So now Luca Mantero with 3.6 seconds ahead of Codoneso. Meanwhile, Glover, after the pit stop, a huge advantage on Riccardo De Rosa. But he will have to wait to see Andrea Cardani, who is now flashing for some GT4 cars. Oh, contact with the Audi! Contact with the Audi GT4 of Smets. He just slammed the door of the R8. Not happy about how he did not give straight away the track, the line. And you have to calm down, guys. I know it's not easy. I know it's the Hungaroring, so it's not easy to overtake or to even lap cars, but someone will be put in danger in the steerworks room if you continue like this. Cardani continues for now. Meanwhile, De Zeer gets into the pit lane for his mandatory pit stop. Another drive-through. Meanwhile, it is for Pattison in the Aston Martin Vantage. Not a good impression tonight at Budapest. Meanwhile, you see Kenzo Codoneso gaining 4 times on Luca Mantero on the previous lap. So Codoneso is still trying to reach Mantero. Now the gap is 2.6, so Codoneso is really pushing like mad in this race. Over like half a second recover in the final, in the last sector, the second sector. And I see now in the final part of the sector, turn 13 now, turn 14 now for both Mantero and Codoneso. the dominant dictator in the first races and the actual race leader. 2.7 now. Codoneso is still trying to push for reaching Luca Mantero. It will not be easy, but you see that he will be dragged. While behind we see some heavy moves. We see Domenico Russo moving ahead of Tucker. Great job by the Italian driver of the BMW to move ahead of Jordan Tucker. And we see now Russo moving and trying to get past Codoneso. Codoneso is on his line. Oh, that was a really brave and bold by Russo. Now also Tucker and the shot lap Codoneso, who is left to really deal with a frustrating heavy traffic who really left him behind to the starting point of his remontada attempt over Luca Mantero. But now the GT3 drivers are no more a concern for him. They'll jump on board on the Mercedes and GT4. Let's head here there. Contact between Tirrena and Codoneso. Really Codoneso is trying to both gain on Luca Mantero and also try to not cause any disturbance to the leading GT3 cars. It's really difficult there to follow the pass and let the others pass. And these images are really the proof of what I said. Let's head back to GT3. They're now trying to approach Tucker for an overtake attempt. For now, for 6th place, but let's see what will happen after Andrea Cantani's final pit stop. Will have to come in the next 10 minutes, otherwise he will be given out from race penalty. Only 2 drivers are left to their pit stops. One, the GT3 car, Andrea Cantani. And the other is the provisional leading car in the GT4 class. As you can see him now on our tables. Sam Graves in the advantage. They both yet to still accept the mandatory pit stop as Sam decides that it is time. And he goes into the pit lane. That will leave Luca Montero to take back the leadership of the class here at Hungaroring. But we now only have 10 minutes or so until the end of the 45 minutes of race. Look a moment between Luca Montero and Molentic. Molentic manages to pass it from the outside. And look how much Kenzo Condoleezzo recovered. Only Luca Montero thanks to all these lap cars. Look how much he recovered. That's insane spirit from Luca Montero. And look at how much Condoleezzo has managed to recover on Luca Montero. So it is not over yet. Cardani now into the box for his mandatory pit stop. He restarts now. Glover, however, it is ahead with a distance. Cardani will manage to take second place, but Brandon Glover takes back the lead of the race. Look at this, Condoleezzo really make himself a more and more menacing presence on the mirrors of Montero's McLaren. And behind him we see the Mercedes GT3